If you could teleport to 65 million, somewhere light years away, and I turned around and looked at the Earth, can you really see the dinosaurs go extinct? This question sounds like science fiction, but the physics behind it. It was Einstein. The truth about the universe was revealed over 100 years ago. To understand this thought experiment, we first need to understand the universe. The most basic confidence, that's light. Light is the carrier that carries all visual information. In a vacuum environment, the speed of light is an eternal constant. About 300,000 kilometers per second. That's 300,000 kilometers per second of the universe. It's incredibly fast. Here's the simplest example. When you look up at the moon at night, what you see is not the moon at this moment. It's what he looked like 1.3 seconds ago. Because of the sunlight reflected by the moon, it takes about 1.3 seconds to travel 380,000 kilometers. Hit your eyes. Look at our sun again. Bask your body in the warm sunshine every day. It was actually sent out by the sun 8 minutes ago. You are basking in the sun 8 minutes ago. The further away, the more exaggerated this time lag is. If you look at the night sky with your naked eyes, find the beautiful Andromeda galaxy. You see him 2.5 million years ago. That is to say, when Andromeda emits that light, ancestors of human terrors on Earth, they haven't even learned to walk upright yet, climbing branches in the African jungle. What does that mean? This means that light carries visual information as it travels through space. Essentially a historical videotapes being delivered by courier. The universe is a vast video recorder with delayed playback. Every ray of light that hits your eyes, it's all a historical snapshot from a moment in the past. After understanding this principle, let's wave back in time 65 million years ago. It was the worst day in the history of the Earth. Late Bai. It's alive. Dinosaurs ruled the blue planet. Over 160 million years. What a well-deserved overlord of the Earth. Giant Tyrannosaurus rex trained in the jungles of North America, the scene of one long eating leisurely by the river. Pterosaurs soar freely in the sky. Everything seems eternal. However, abnormal. The size of the asteroid. It's the equivalent of Mount Everest. It carries more kinetic energy than the world's nuclear weapons. 1 billion times the total library enough to rewrite the fate of an entire planet. He and his steep angle hit what is now Mexico from the location of the Cayton Peninsula and instant exploded. It's 180 kilometers in diameter. Bow crater. The moment of impact, surface temperatures soar to tens of thousands of degrees. All living things within 100 kilometers of the tree are. It vaporizes in a few tenths of a second. Even the rocks are melted and evaporated. Huge shock wave, spreading in all directions at supersonic speeds, triggered a global super-earthquake. The magnitude of the earthquake is estimated to exceed 11 in Switzerland. Then a tsunami swept across the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific coast. Waves may exceed 300 meters. This is the largest tsunami in human history. Unmatched scale. But the real killer wasn't the impact itself. It's a chain of disasters that sweeps the world after the impact. This is the culprit that caused 75% of species to go extinct. Hundreds of billions of traces of dust, sulfides and aerosols are ejected into the stratosphere. In just a few short weeks, the sky that obscured the entire Earth, sunlight cannot penetrate. Earth, trapped in a winter of impact that lasted for years. Global temperatures plummeted by 10-20 degrees Celsius. It gets freezing cold in the tropics. Large areas of plants die. No more sunlight. Plants cannot make light. The synergistic food chain collapses from the bottom up. Grass-stone dinosaurs were first starved and cold, and mass death. Carnivorous dinosaurs that lost their prey. It's coming to an end. The Tyrannosaurus rex that once shook the earth fell hungry and cold. A great era has come to an end. At the same time, the oceans are not immune. Large amounts of sulfides are incorporated into causing seawater, severe ocean acidification. Calcareous shells in the ocean corrode and dissolve. This catastrophe wiped out about 75% of all species on Earth, including all flying birds and dinosaurs. Ended up 160 million years of dinosaur rule. Now let's go back to the original question. At the same time that the mass extinction was happening, the sun shines on the dinosaurs, shine on the dust and flames. These photons, carrying visual information of the scene of the dinosaur extinction, penetrating the Earth's atmosphere, fly to the deep space without hesitation, began a long journey. This batch carries the photon army in the dinosaur extinction picture, already in the universe, flying tirelessly for a full 65 million years, still moving forward. To this day, this batch of photons, it has flown about 65 million light-years away from Earth. They are traveling through the area known as the female superstar theater. If you can somehow move instantly to that position, one step ahead of this batch of photons, turn your head and face the direction of the Earth, wait for them to arrive. In theory, you can indeed receive this batch photons from 65 million years ago. That is to say, can you see it? The dinosaur extinction event that was happening on Earth at that time. This sounds incredibly romantic, as if the universe really has preserved a video of all history. You just need to run fast enough, you can play back any part of the past. But the harsh reality of this thought experiment. Life bottleneck, precisely the first step. You can't teleport to 65 million light-years away. Why is that? Because in Einstein's chivalrous theory of relativity, the universe has a maximum speed limit that iron cannot beat. That's the speed of light in a vacuum. Any substance that carries energy or information, including you and me, its speed of motion, it is absolutely impossible to reach or exceed the speed of light. This is the fundamental law of the universe. Intelligent equivalence equation based on relativity theory. When a mass object accelerates, its relativistic mass increases with speed. And it keeps increasing. When your speed is infinite, your relativistic mass will approach infinity. This means that the energy required to continue accelerating also tends to be infinite. In other words, even if you put the energy of the entire universe is concentrated, it is impossible to put a mass object accelerate to the speed of light. That's the iron law of physics. Maybe you say, what about wormholes? Einstein and Rosen. Wormholes in general relativity. Can't you fold time and space to take shortcuts? The concept of wormholes is really exciting. If space-time could be folded in half like a piece of paper, two distant points can be instantaneously connected, significantly shorten the journey. But reality and it's skinny, even if wormholes exist in nature. Also extremely unstable, he would collapse and close in an instant. There's no time to let anything through. To keep a wormhole open requires an extremely specific substance. That's exotic matter with negative energy density. And this kind of thing currently only exists in theory. With the current level of human technology, we even have one. Negative energy on a macroscopic scale cannot be created, let alone maintaining a traversable macro. Impulsive. 10,000 steps back. Even if you do go through a wormhole, reached its destination 65 million light-years away, the problem you are facing remains unsolved. because of the time dilation in general relativity. The effect tells us, at attractive forces or extreme speeds, the rate at which time passes will change dramatically. When you go through this extreme time travel, upon arrival at the destination, tens of millions of years may have passed on Earth. Your time coordinates are already completely out of order. The batch of photons you want to catch, it may have already flown past your location, or it's far from there yet. Everything is out of sync because of time and become meaningless. So in Einstein's universe, the conclusion is brutal and clear. You can't run any faster than you did 65 million years ago. The photons that leave Earth are faster. You can never walk in front of the light. Then turn around and look back at your own history. Einstein uses the laws of physics, lock the door to time and space. Could it be that this romantic thought experiment, can it only end in a cold physical death penalty? And the answer is, not really. The universe leaves a window. Let's think about this from a different angle. We're not going there. We assume that somebody is already there watching us. What happens then? At a distance of 65 million from Earth, in a galaxy light years away, there is a highly developed super-alien civilization, millions of years before humans. This moment, they put an incredibly advanced super telescope, aimed at our solar system, aimed at that little blue third planet. What can they see? Can they see a T-Rex running? And the answer is no, even with advanced telescopes. 65 million light years away. It also makes it completely impossible to directly Prime Minister. At a distance of 65 million light years, the Earth is just a tiny speck of light. It's about twice the size of a grain of sand. You can't make out the details. But astronomers look at the universe. Never take photos directly. They're using an incredibly powerful tool, spectroscopy, which is at the heart of cosmic observation. What is spectroscopy? And the simple answer is this: every ray of light carrying everything he passed by and chemical fingerprints of reflected substances. It's like a unique ID card for everyone. By analyzing one stellar spectra reflected by distant planets, scientists can accurately determine the atmosphere of this planet. What chemical components do they contain? What's the proportion? The current James Webb Space Telescope, already able to analyze atmospheric compositions of exoplanet light years away, find traces of water vapor and carbon dioxide. In 2023, the Webb telescope, success in the atmosphere of the exoplanet Walls 18b, signal of water vapor detected. It's a beautiful demonstration of the power of spectroscopy. Then that super civilization 65 million light years away, if their spectroscopic analysis technology a million times more advanced than humans, what do they find when they analyze the Earth's spectrum? The first thing they will notice is a sudden and drastic change in the brightness of the Earth after that impact. Earth's anti-Oman rate, unusual fluctuations occurred in a very short period of time. Crash the initial dust cloud. Will temporarily increase the Earth's reflectivity. Let the Earth be in the telescope of an alien observer. Suddenly a little brighter. This is the first anomaly signal. But then a lot of black soot and sulfide aerosols fill the atmosphere. The Earth is rapidly darkening and becoming cloudy. The rate of reaction begins to drop sharply. This is the second exception. And here's the thing: the precipitous plunge of biomarkers in the spectrum. This is the signal that most shocked alien scientists, because it means life is dying. What are biomarkers? And that is, only in the presence of life will appear in line. Special chemical components in a star's atmosphere, such as the coexistence of oxygen and methane. Millions of years before the impact, Alien civilizations may be early. Just analyze the spectrum of the Earth's macroscale. It was found to be rich in oxygen and methane. This is a strong vital sign. The abundance of methane is particularly striking. Because of methane on Earth, a large part of it comes from the digestive process of animals, including the intestinal fermentation of dinosaurs. In addition, there's also something called vegetation in the spectrum of the Earth. Red edge effect. This is a very unique spectral signature. Plants will strongly reflect specific bands near infrared. This red-rimmed signal make it clear to alien observers. The surface of the planet, covered with vast areas of photosynthetic vegetation. It's a living planet full of life. But in the spectrum after the impact, everything has changed. Alien scientists will see methane levels plummeted like a cliff. The signal of biological activity decays sharply. Biochemical indicators representing plant photosynthesis. It's a precipice drop. The red edge effect has almost disappeared. This means that the vegetation on the Earth's surface is dying on a massive scale. At the same time, absorption of sulfides in the spectrum. The line is strengthening dramatically. The composition of volcanic gases such as sulfur dioxide has soared abnormally. It's just an extreme environmental disaster. Alien scientists may also detect abnormalities of heavy metals such as Yi elements. Because of the asteroid impact, will transfer a large amount of foreign matter into the Earth's atmosphere. Combine all this spectral data. These alien scientists, it's completely possible to piece together a clear picture. They will write a stunning observation report. The conclusion of the report would probably be written like this: numbered pale blue dot. The third planet just went through one extremely serious catastrophic event, presumed to be a large celestial body impact. The report will continue to point out the biosphere on the planet's surface suffered a devastating blow. Chemical signals that represent life's activities is rapidly decaying. Life is dying out on a massive scale. They may also add, the planet is temporarily inactive. But according to the Force, these alien scientists won't know what kind of creature went extinct. They didn't know there was a funny little hand. A giant reptile with an amazing bite. They won't know a lamp once soared in the sky. Giant flying reptiles over 10 meters. I don't know, the ocean once overflowed with a 15-meter-long dragon. But they do know one thing. A once great and flourishing biological age. It's slowly closing in their binoculars. This is the amazing power of spectroscopy. Even at a distance of 65 million light-years, he can still tell the story of a distant planet. The great story of life and death. Actually, humans themselves are doing the same thing. It's just that what we observe is history of other planets, rather than our own past. This moment, when we put James Webb, when space telescopes are pointed at distant deep space, we are watching the history of other galaxies billions of years ago. Webb telescope, it has been photographed older than 13 billion years ago. The universe was less than 500 million years old. Everything is still young and chaotic. We see thousands of light years away, the spectacular moment when a star explodes, the remnants of a supernova, breathtaking beauty blooms in space. Colors are like fireworks in the universe. We observed, million light years away, galaxies collide. The spectacular scene of fusion, hundreds of billions of stars under the command of attractive forces, dancing a cosmic waltz. This is all possible. It is precisely because of the finite speed of light. The delay in the speed of light saved one for us. A historical documentary that spans billions of years. The universe is a vast theater. There are no fast-forward or backward cases. Every audience can only see the history that belongs to the distance. Andromeda you see on Earth. Andromeda 2.5 million years ago. And in Andromeda, if someone were to look at Earth, see the Earth 2.5 million years ago. In the theater of the universe, no audience is privileged. Everyone can only see that version of reality brought by the light. This is the deepest chord in the universe. You might get frustrated. Humans will never be able to see. Looking back at the Earth's own history, Einstein uses light, quickly lock the door to the past. But beneath the coldness of physics, it hides the deepest romance in the universe, because it is the finiteness of the speed of light. Let the universe change. It's a living history museum. If the speed of light is infinite, then all the information will arrive instantaneously. There would be no hierarchy of history anywhere in the universe. Everything is just now. Because the speed of light is limited, the universe has the depth of time. Every time I look farther is to look at the older past. The universe itself is a time machine. 2023 is the year to think about it. This moment, you stand on Earth and breathe, speak and think. The sun is shining on you, and the faint light reflected from your body, leaving Earth. These photons that carry information about your image at the moment, at 300,000 kilometers per second, fly to deep space, began their long interstellar journey. 1 second later, they're in lunar orbit. 8 minutes later, flying over the sun, passing by Neptune in 4 hours. Farewell to the solar system and enter interstellar space. 4 years later, they arrived at the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, 2.5 million years later in Andromeda. They will continue to fly for tens of millions of years, even hundreds of millions of years, perhaps in 65 million years, somewhere far away we can't imagine. In the observatory of the galaxy, there will be a telescope of an alien civilization, intercepted this batch of photons. They will analyze these faint rays of light from afar. The information contained therein, trying to read the spectrum of the Earth in our time, trying to understand our civilization. What will their spectral analysis reveal? They will find abnormal concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The sky is far higher than the planet. Natural levels over millions of years. They will also detect the presence of chlorfordine in the atmosphere. In nature, it should not. The presence of man-made chemicals. This is strong circumstantial evidence for the existence of an intelligent civilization. They might even catch the weak artificial light signal on the Earth page. City lights at night make the Earth's dark side no longer completely dark. These alien scientists will write down in their report, on the third planet numbered dim blue dot, there is a civilization in the midst of technology, early-stage intelligent species. They're looking at us 65 million years ago. That's who we are at this moment. And we know nothing about that. Like dinosaurs don't know, it's like being recorded by the light. This is the poetry of the universe. Every life that has ever existed, the rise and fall of every civilization, have been faithfully recorded by the light. Fly to all directions of the universe. Nothing really goes away. Images of dinosaurs are still flying through space. The construction of the ancient Egyptian pyramids is also traveling through interstellar dust somewhere. You had coffee this morning. It looks like it is flying towards the depths of the universe at the speed of light. He will travel through the universe for billions of years, until absorbed or scattered by something. The universe doesn't need a hard stack. You don't need film. The light itself is the most perfect record ring. And the entire universe, it's an infinite amount of storage. Einstein locked the door to our passage through time and space, but it also revealed to us a deeper truth. The universe itself is a museum of time. Every time you look up at the stars at night, what you see is not a static black curtain. It's a building made of light. A living history spanning billions of years. The starlight closest to you came from a few years ago. A little further back, thousands of years ago. And the most distant, we can't go back and save dinosaurs. But we can look up at the stars to read the history of the universe. Because every starlight, it's all a letter from the past. And 65 million years later, astronomers on a distant planet, perhaps reading our letters to the universe. Read this moment, the spectral story of human civilization on Earth. This is the deepest romance in the universe. Light records everything, and time allows everything to be seen. As long as you stand far enough away, history is always playing out.